Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Spencer-Smith at Private Practice Ninja, and today we're going to be talking about what to do during the quiet times in private practice. Do you ever experience quiet times in your practice? We're in the summer holiday season at the moment, and sometimes people say to me things are going downhill a little bit and they get a bit worried. I know how that feels. I remember that a few years ago when I was starting out in private practice. Now, unfortunately, it's all about where can I fit the bloomin' patients? That's a very nice situation to be in, and I'm going to encourage you to not panic if it seems quiet. Instead, I want you to be really proactive and take that spare diary time and use it for the good. So here are my top tips for what to do when practice life's a bit quiet. Number 1, reflect on your patient numbers and what you're earning where. If you're working for more than one clinic, and you should know by now how I feel about multiple clinics in private practice, now's a great time to work out what's actually working for you. Sometimes we're in the thick of it, we're busy and everything seems okay, but I'm willing to bet that if you're at more than one clinic site, there's going to be one site that outperforms the others. Here's an example of this. Recently I was coaching an orthopaedic surgeon who was working at 4 clinical sites, okay? And in my world, I think 2, possibly 3 is the absolute maximum for anybody, even if you're full-time in private practice. Here's why. Sometimes there's a bit of a myth about this idea of the footprint. So the idea of the footprint is the more geographical bases I cover, the bigger my referral base is. That's true to some extent, but you also have to remember that people can't be in the same place at the same time. So for example, in London, if you're working in the city in the daytime, you're in the city in the daytime. You can't also be in Wimbledon in the daytime. So I see people who are convinced that their clinics are really busy, and what happens is that they end up swapping one busy area that's performing better for a slightly quieter afternoon area. So if you're seeing people in the city and you're rammed in the morning and then you're going to Wimbledon and it's a bit quiet in the afternoon, it doesn't make sense that you go to Wimbledon in the afternoon. So swapping one kind of patient for another kind of patient when you're moving around in the middle and wasting that time in the middle of the day is a bad idea. So how do you decide where it is that you should work? I want you to think carefully about the kinds of patients who come to those clinics. So if you're an orthopaedic surgeon and you're working in the city and you've got lots of weekend warriors who love busting their ACL, you're probably going to have more surgical conversions in the city than you are in Nappy Valley. You might be convincing yourself it's a great idea to use my lunch break to commute, but I'm saying in my head, please don't do that. There's nothing worse than being crammed into the central line with a sandwich in one hand whilst you're hanging on overhead with the other hand. Wouldn't it be better to just have a walk in the sunshine for half an hour and then get back to the desk you were sat at a few minutes earlier? That makes much more sense to me. You should be able to get to the point where you can literally work out the average patient earning per clinic slot at each of your clinics. And by that I mean not just how much revenue they came in for a consultation, it's also about the surgical referral numbers. So if you average it out, so add up how many patients came to see you at bank, how many patients you saw then as a consequence for surgery, what was the income generated by that, minus the room rates, minus the travelling, etc. And you should come up with an average clinic figure. If it's doing much better in one area, ditch the others. Number 2, go hang out in clinic with other clinicians. So sometimes over the summertime we convince ourselves that everybody leaves. And most of the time we can't afford to take 6 or 8 weeks off with the kids. So if you're thinking about going and sitting with orthopaedic surgeons, rheumatologists, sports doctors, whatever, don't feel that everyone has gone away over the summer holiday period. Chances are they've gone away for a week or 2. And you can take advantage of the fact that their clinics might be a bit quieter and they may be more receptive to having people sit in. Don't forget, it takes on average 3 times for us to remember you when you're coming to clinic. So go back, revisit those people you haven't seen for a while. Number 3, sort out those holes in your GDPR compliance. GDPR isn't going away, and when we talk to clients about their GDPR, they tell us that they've either not got enough time or they don't know how to figure it out. Now is a great opportunity to use quieter time to get stuck in and make sure that you're legally compliant. Ask yourself, have you done a proper data flow audit? Have you got those data processor to data controller agreements in place? Are you still using Gmail? Do you even know what the hell I'm talking about? Get in touch. We'll put a link below and you can call for a free consultation about this. Number 4, plan, write and record some blogs and vlogs. We all know we need to be producing content for patients and referrers, and you've heard me banging on about the fact that 70% of the time patients make up their minds about us before they even book in to see us. And they do this because they read stuff that we put out there online. The trouble is when clinic's busy and you think, okay, I'm going to write that blog tonight, or I'm going to record that quick vlog tonight, and you sit down and you think, what the hell am I going to do? I don't know what to write about today. Wouldn't it be much nicer if each time you sat down to write or record that you had it all planned out in advance? That your content for the next 3 months was decided upon, and that you've done some keyword research so you know it's going to be valuable to Google. Now's a great time to sit down for a day or half a day, plan out some content, and do you know the crazy thing? Is when you see what's written that you're going to be recording the next week, your brain kind of subconsciously gets to work on it, and it's so much easier to write and record once you already know what you're going to be talking about. If you need help figuring out some content strategy for your private practice, get in touch. I'm at css@privatepracticeninja.tv. Have a great summer.